1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
It doesn't matter. Thank you.
Bless.
Okay, couple quick housekeeping items. If everybody could make sure their cell phone is turned off or at least in silent mode, I would greatly appreciate that. We're going to take an opening statement from Coach as soon as I give introductions, and then we will entertain questions. I have 2 outstanding microphone holders over here, so let's make sure we get the mic to you. Give us your name and affiliation. It's very helpful up here. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome up to the podium Boston College head coach Steve Donahue, as well as student athletes Olivia Hanlon and Joe Rodon. Coach.
Okay, thanks, Aim. I thought it was an interesting game, to say the least. Don't say I've had too many of those where you fall down by 15 before the first timeout. I think the only good thing is it happened so quickly. I think it kind of woke us up, understanding get through the nerves of the tournament. We just got rid of that in the first 4 minutes, and we've been through a great deal this year with a lot of adversity, a lot of times where we didn't play well and we came back, and I think that's what we kind of relied on at that point.
Questions? Start right up here on the left. Tom?
Tom Welborn, WBFT Television. Just a question for either Coach or Olivier. First off, congratulations on the freshman scoring record. Are you aware, coaches or players, during the course of the game of any of those types of records? Are you aware of it at all?
I had no idea. I didn't.
I had no idea, too.
Be honest, let me just expound on that a little bit. It's not something we really care about. This is, with all due respect to the scoring record, and it's not something I ever talk about. These two have had an incredible season, but it's all about our team, and I would never want to think something like a record that an individual does is more important than what we do, and I would never put it ahead of the team, I'm sure. Oh, and Joe feel the same.
Brett
Friedlander, Boston Herald. Olivier, can you talk about the steal on the inbounds play and the and one and kind of how that got you going? And then, Coach, how big a play was that?
Go ahead.
Right before that play, Coach just told me to, stay aggressive on that press, and because I got the same steal, I think, last game at home, so I just timed it well, and hopefully I got it, and I finished. So it just gave us more energy to get another stop after that.
Obviously, I thought the press was really good to us today, and thought we were tentative at first. And one of my assistants actually mentioned that, Udofi is kind of beating that just by getting it out quickly. And that's what O and I spoke about, just saying, I think he can get up there and make him back dribble. And I do agree, because it was bang, bang, we score, we steal, we score. All of a sudden, the momentum's going in our way.
Here in the middle.
Coach, I think this is the first time the team's advanced to the quarterfinals since 2007. Just talk about what it means to the program. 4-game winning streak, second biggest win of the season, biggest ACC win of the season, and there's a lot of momentum, a lot of good things happening.
Well, I don't want to call you on that, but we came to the quarters my first year here too, okay? I know you do your homework usually, but
I try my best.
I know. It's a big deal. I mean, both these guys know. We've had our times during this year where we probably questioned how good we were just with the incredible amount of youth. I don't think there's a team in the country that starts and plays. Our rotation is basically freshmen and sophomores. We have no junior and senior necessarily in the rotation. And I give these two guys an enormous amount of credit, because to play 35, 36 minutes a game in this league as freshmen without senior and junior leadership just speaks volumes of how far they come. So to advance and be one of the 8 teams left, it's a big deal, no doubt, especially in a quality league like this.
Right here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Evan Markfield, Associated Press. Coach, based on your last answer, I guess I can guess the answer to this, but the record for scoring in a game is 45, and it was set 56 years ago. Did you have any temptation to leave Olivier in a little longer, since that's such
Who was that?
Lenny Rosenbluth.
Wow. No, I wasn't going to. Lenny's record was in hand. It was no. I had no idea that he. We're just locked in. I had no idea one guy's making them. We're all looking out there. Obviously, it was the funny part about the 8 for 10. I think he missed his first 2, and I said something like, "You got to take that." He's both these guys. That's something I've harped on them all year about. Taking the 3. That's got to be a weapon that we use, and I think both of them over the last month have really utilized that. And I think they sense, oh, good, he's not making shots today after the first 2, and we can keep him out of lane. But obviously, I think he made him pay for that.
Right here.
Damian Sorlett, Lynchburg News and Advance. Olivier, you start 2 for 6 and you make your last 12 shots. What were you thinking on that last shot that kind of went around the rim, off the backboard, and then found its way in, which gave you the 41?
It was a lucky shot. I was lucky enough to have Ryan give me a beautiful pass. So even the whole game, my last 12 shots are not really tough shots. Just my teammates were finding me in spots, and I was just trying to move around the wing, because they were guarding me pretty well whenever I attacked. So I was trying to spot up and get my feet under me and just hit shots.
Back down here in the front.
Joe, even if you're not aware of the exact numbers, you've got to have a feel that Olivier is making pretty much everything he fires up there. When you have a guy like that, do you look for him? Do you try to get him the ball?
Oh, absolutely. Olivier's done a great job all year scoring for us. Second leading scorer behind Ryan. And today he was putting on a show. And as a player on the court, you try not to get caught up in it, and you try to keep playing and doing your best. But there's no doubt about it, whenever you're penetrating, you're looking for where his defender's at, because if you can get him a clean look and he has it going, more than likely it's going to go in. So there's no doubt I was trying to get in the paint and just trying to look for him. He was doing a great job moving without the ball, and he put him in. It was a great performance.
Yep, back left.
Austin Tedesco from the Heights. Oh, you get another shot at Miami, especially after that first game at home with the free throws. Do you take excitement in the fact that you get another opportunity to beat them?
Yeah, it's another challenge for me. So we kind of slipped at home against them. We could have got the win, but everybody's going to be ready. Everybody's going to rest up tonight, and we'll bounce back tomorrow.
Another question here.
For O and Joe, you guys have been in the situation so many times this year. When it's so different, falling down 15 points, giving up a 5-minute head start essentially. Like, where were your heads at that point, and sort of how did you dig yourselves out of it?
I think we've been in so many unique situations this year. Just recently, we just played them. We were down 10 with 10 to go, and we came to the kind of timeout, and coach just gave us nothing but confidence to get going and play our game, because we knew we could come back. And he actually said being down 15 with 35 minutes to go is much easier than being down 10 with 10 to go. So that kind of loosened us up a little bit, and it made us get going. You have no choice but to start playing basketball when you're down 15 in the beginning of the ACC tournament. So it kind of helped us turn it on, and we'll be ready at the start of the game tomorrow.
Take another question right here in the middle.
Having played Miami twice already, what is there to do to prepare for them tomorrow?
Well, obviously, it's not anything physically that you can do. They present so many issues on the offensive end and defense. Just their age and their experience. I think the physicality is the first thing. They got big bodies. And like we talk about it all the time, most teams in this league have some physical attributes over us. So we got to play the way we play. Move the basketball, make them chase you, utilize the three, push it in transition. All those things still apply. On the defensive end, we got to do it as a team. We've gotten better at that. There's just no way you can guard individually, and we know that. And I think we're buying into it more and more every day. But that's a team that, I mean, Shane running the team and everybody else playing off of him. It's a heck of a task. There's no doubt.
Take another question back left.
Steve, for a lot of ACC fans, this is their sort of first realization of the kind of player that Olivier Hanlon is. Can you talk about what you saw in him on the recruiting trail and whether you thought he could be this good this early?
We've known for quite a few years through a guy named Dave Smart. Dave is the head coach at Carleton University, who just won his 9th national championship in Canada. And he ran a grassroots program up where O's from. And so I had a relationship with Dave, and so I think he's probably the first guy we offered when I got to BC. We had him on campus, and we recruited him very hard. I think he got under-recruited a little bit. He did get offers when it went down, but I think, he's not a freaky type athlete necessarily. But he's a very good athlete. He's an extremely smart athlete, and I think those are the things that drew us towards him. I had no idea, and I say this to a lot of recruits now, I don't know when you get guys like these two on campus, are they going to be really hard workers? Everyone says they are, but are they going to really be dedicated to the game? And both these guys, from day one, in the gym, watching film, understanding it. And two, are they coachable? Are they willing to hear criticism? Are they willing to say, you know what, you got to share it better there? All those things. Both these guys are very selfless in that manner. And I think Olivier is just, obviously with all that work that he's put in, it's coming to the top at this point.
We're going to take our last question right here.
Steve, I'm wondering, Georgia Tech typically plays a little bit better defense, and then you must have been pretty satisfied with the way your offense was functioning and getting open shots against them.
Extremely. I think Brian's as good a coach in the league, especially defensively. I also think they're a really good basketball team. I told these guys, I think the two of us are playing the best basketball in this league right now. You look over the last 10 games and the way they played and the way we played, I thought it was a hard matchup because we beat them, and I think they're good. His young players are good. His veterans really played well. And I think we did some things offensively, moving the basketball that you have to do. A guy like Ryan Anderson's not up here, but to be honest, if Ryan doesn't really, we go through him, and a lot of times it's a hockey assist. It leads to something else. But if we don't have a kid like him sharing it, I don't think these guys get shots, and no one gets shots.
Great. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. Yes, we're forcing you to sit down here by me. Again, we'll do some quick introductions here and then take an opening statement before questions. Pleased to welcome up to the podium Georgia Tech head coach Brian Gregory, as well as student athlete Marcus Georges Hunt. Coach, when you're ready.
Sure. Give Boston credit, Boston College a lot of credit. They're a team that I think in our league in the 18 games have played 9 very close games, 1 or 2 possession games, 3 points or less. They won 3 of them out of the 9. So, you're looking at a team that won just 7 total games in the league, and that record could be quite different. And both teams rely on freshmen, not just to, help the team, but then sometimes carry it. And then today, their freshman, who's probably the freshman of the year in the league and well-deserving of that, played extremely well. I think they're the team that over the last probably 4 weeks, 5 weeks has played as well as maybe just about anybody in the league. And we just didn't play well in the last 24, 25 minutes of the game, which is unfortunate, but something that we got to keep growing from and learning from, because that's been, a challenge for us, is to be able to compete at the level in this league for a 40-minute stretch. We've made some strides, but obviously not there yet. And we did a lot of good things this year. But just the next step from going to being competitive and good to the next step is a hard one. So we got a lot of work to do.
Start our first question right here in the front.
Brian, BC did a good job of moving the ball, having you chase the ball, and I guess that really got Hanlon going by getting that open shot.
Well, we had done a really good job on him. That steal he got on the outlet in the and one was kind of got him going a little bit, and we lost him a couple times. One of the things that they make you do is they make you concentrate and focus defensively the entire possession. We can't relax. You can't lose sight of your man. You can't get too deep in your help, and we did that a couple times. And they didn't shoot the ball well. I thought our defense the first 12 minutes was as good as it's been all year long. And then, unfortunately, one of the challenges that we have is the ability to maintain and sustain that type of effort. I thought we got away a little bit from what we needed to do when we got that lead. I think young players have a tendency when you get a lead like that to think that everything's going to be easy. We took some quick shots, some questionable shots. We had some questionable possessions, which led to some easy baskets for them. And when you're playing in an elimination game, those things come back to get you, and that's exactly what happened this afternoon.
Take our next question up here.
Tom Welborn, WBFT in Sanford. Coach, as you look at this particular contest, the way that it started out and the way that it finished, what are maybe some positives you take out of this game that will help you should there be postseason for you?
Well, again, the biggest thing right now and where we're at in a program is the effort and the energy that you're given, and are you making progress in some other tangible areas. We had 24 offensive rebounds. So again, we had guys that were playing with, pretty good effort and energy. Unfortunately, that number kind of ticks me off as well, because that's the highest number we've had all year on the offensive glass. And we should be a very good offensive rebounding team. But we're not consistent in that. Today, all of a sudden, we had guys that, were challenged a little bit to get to the glass. And, Marcus did a great job with 7 offensive rebounds. I said he could be one of the best offensive rebounders in the league from that, that perimeter spot. And so that's an area that hopefully down the road we'll be known for as a great offensive rebounding team, and we showed we could do it today. So, for me, out of everything, that's probably the brightest spot. I like the way we came out and our focus early, But unfortunately, one of our Achilles heals this entire year, and sometimes it happens when you got younger guys. Sometimes it happens when you got older guys that haven't had a lot of success, is the ability to maintain the focus and level of concentration and competitiveness that you need to be successful.
Yep. Over here to Mark.
Sorry. Brian, you made your first 3 threes in the game, and after that, Carter took a couple of threes, and then Poole took one, and all of a sudden you look up and they're back in the thing. Is that what you mean when you said?
Yeah,
that?
you know, I thought the shots that Robert took were within the offensive flow, and he's done a good job, and that's one of the things that we've taken advantage of on some teams is being able to stretch with Robert. The one, you know, by Solomon was an atrocious shot. You know what I mean? And he's, you know, too young to kind of understand that yet. He will, you know, because again, it's not always the shot; it's where it comes from and different things like that. And you know, our guys know they have the freedom to be aggressive and make some shots. Marcus, you know, took 6 3-pointers. I thought every single one of them was good. There's a time, a score, a flow of the offense as well that you need to understand. And I think that as that first half went by, and it wasn't always from the 3. It was sometimes it was shots inside the 3. You just we at times lack a great moxie of understanding, you know, what is needed at that particular time. We got to get better at that.
Down here in the front.
Kelly Quinlan, Jackets Online. Marcus, do you feel like you guys started pressing in the second half offensively and felt like you had to keep up with the momentum and that took you guys out of your game? It seemed like the offensive rhythm wasn't there and you guys just couldn't get clean shots off.
I felt that, yeah, we tried to keep up with them. A lot of rush shots. We couldn't crash the boards at the quick shots and they were getting out and running. So I feel like, yeah, we tried to, you know, play to their potential and keep up, you know, running with them. And I think that's where we, you know, bump heads.
Yep.
Brian, you had talked previously about wanting the team to be a little more aggressive on the offensive end, and it seemed like in the beginning of the game, some of the guys like Chris and Mufon really were pretty aggressive going to the hole. That sort of got you started pretty well.
Well, yeah, and you know, aggressive, and they're going to kind of rally on those drives. So we were able to kick the ball out. We got a couple baskets inside off that as well. You know, and that, you know, kind of that goes with the last question. That's when you need that, you know, steadying influence on the offensive end, you know, so you don't panic and so forth. That has to be done on the court a lot of times. You know, and it can become, it can come from different positions and different guys. You know, it comes from a freshman for Boston College in Rayhan. You know, those guys are in their stuff every single time against pressure, no pressure, whatever the case might be. You know, he's good enough player to make open shots and do different things. He's not an imposing kid. But he's in control, and everybody knows that out there. And give him credit as a freshman to be able to do that. And as we take another step, we need the guys are going to have to step up into that role.
Take our next question over here.
Marcus, your coach was talking a little bit about what happened after it got to 15-0, and I'm curious just what it felt like on the court as far as focus and intensity, those kinds of things.
It felt like I kept telling everyone that the game is not over. We need to just keep doing what we're doing, talking and being active on defense, rebounding and running. But they started hitting shots. I guess, you know, we were losing it. We lost our mind. We started to speed up our game and get out of our game.
Tell me what it was like watching Hanlon just kind of make everything he was taking. I mean, it seemed like you guys were trying to, doing pretty well at defending him, but he just kind of making whatever he took?
He's a great player. On defense, we were scrambling a lot, and he had a lot of open shots, and he knocked them down. He's a great player. He's a great shooter, too. I wasn't surprised for him to hit the shot because I know with his potential, I knew he can knock down open shots. We just need to know where he was at and find him.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Now they've clawed back. Here's a turnover by Wood that starts the break.